Our next guest is a five-time Grammy-winning singer-songwriter and producer. He's the frontman for the band Bleachers, whose new album, Take the Sadness Out of Saturday Night, is out July 13th. Please welcome back to the show, sorry, July 30th. I was going to say, wait, right? We got it now, Wally. Not in the past, you guys. It's coming out in the future. Please welcome back to the show, Jack Antonoff. Hi, buddy. Yeah.
Hey, guys. How are you?
So happy to have you here, and I'm so happy you got our complimentary mug.
I love it.
It's really nice, right?
It's great.
We've scaled down a little bit from the
When
old.
you come to the show, you get this.
Yeah.
And you take it home,
That's wonderful.
and it sucks. Yeah.
I want to thank you. You've done double duty for us this week. You were here yesterday with Lord. You're here today. You're going to play music for us today. And I know you've collaborated with Lord for a while. We talked about you yesterday. But I did not realize this, that your parents are now friends with Lord's parents.
Yeah, they're like, they hang. And
Is that cool for you?
Well, I think they party a little bit, but actually, I don't know about, I'll segue. My parents party
Okay.
hard, and I've noticed that they've, like, yeah, our parents are cool, they do stuff, but I don't want to out anyone else's parents for partying. The older I've gotten, like, I'm like every stage that I go through in life, my parents start doing different drugs.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like letting go.
So they were on the straight and narrow when you were young. Is that what you're saying?
And I think like then when I kind of moved out, which was a little late, got my own place, like more my dad got real in the pot.
Okay.
And now he's just like, I mean, if we get back on tour, hopefully this will happen. But in the past, just sort of like floating around the shows with like a joint in his mouth, like just real.
And is he sort of publicly known by, I mean, he must be known at least by your sort of, that's your dad.
He shows up and he plays with us, and he's just a character, and kind of just like, you know, if I meet, you know, kids after the show, like by the bus or something, they'll be like great show, blah, blah. I saw your dad, and he was real high, and he was, you know, told me something about the Kennedy assassination that was really interesting, but not one of the theories I've ever heard. Like, so I just think he, like, you know, he likes to party, and I think it's cool. But there has been like this, you know, the more I don't seem to need them to look after me.
Yeah. That happened. That did not happen with my parents. My in-laws are like that, though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely like.
Your parents don't get high?
My parents don't get high.
They get drunk?
My mom has been known to have a cocktail.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. they have been known to see it.
I feel like because there's no audience, there's just your friends.
Yeah.
I feel like they have context, and some of the things you're saying are going to land harder.
Yes. It's
Right?
deeply unfair.
I'm assuming you guys all know his mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so it lands.
Well, look, I'm based on everything you've said so far, they want to know your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad would be here and would be like, hey, like, it's camera's great. Like, I want to get high? And
Camera's great.
Yeah, and he also says like really, he's a master of like saying something rude that's a compliment. Seth, like you were actually really funny. Like and he goes this, you were actually it's like a really credible show. Like, like
Yeah, like I did not know when I came here. I came here to see my son Jack. I had no expectations.
yeah, you were.
And you were really funny.
His favorite bit is he loves. I don't know why everyone says you're such an ass. He loves saying that.
Is he deeply proud of you?
Well, one thing I've noticed about parents within what I do is there's so much mythology that you see in film and TV about music, and I'm sure you have it with your work, and it's such a different actual lifestyle. But for them, they just get to dive into the mythology. It's just joints, it's shows, it's sweat. Maybe they have sex sometimes. I don't know. But guys, come on. Like,
Once I should tell you something about this group. Once they think you need it, they disappear.
yeah. Well, I also feel like they're like, I was here yesterday, and
Yeah, you've already worn off.
I feel like they're like, yes. But yeah, so I feel like they get all all those sides of it. And I'm way more kind of focused on my work and
Yes.
You know,
well, that's
yeah.
the thing. Well, when I'm going to do a show in Boston, and, my parents are coming, they're bringing a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Which is exciting, and it's a fun night for them, but they'll want to, like, get lunch, and
Totally.
I will want to be
Get
prepared.
ready.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so it is an interesting balance because, but also it's not like they're not doing maliciously. They're just so excited.
I love it.
Yeah.
I sort of love when some of that stuff is around me. Like, I don't even get high, but I love when people around me are getting high, for example. Because I just love the feeling of it, like people being loose and having a good time.
Yeah.
Sometimes that goes on with my band where it's like they'll party or something more than me, and I just really enjoy being around it, and it just makes me feel like free through them or something. I can't enjoy it too much myself.
Yeah. I know what you mean, though. It is nice to be around people having fun. I don't know you super well. I mean, we've been lucky enough to meet over the years, but I was telling you backstage, you did a song with Bruce Springsteen this year.
Yeah.
And even though, like I said, I don't know you that well, I got goosebumps when I saw it because I thought, oh, this is such a cool thing. Like, just based on what I know about you, I thought, what a thing to be doing. How did it come about, and was it as much fun to do as it was to see?
It was a blast. Things like that always happen pretty naturally because you can't really plan that stuff, especially an artist like him and so very important. Him and Patty are very important people in my life as artists, as humans. They're just as good as it gets. But also to have, he's an artist who was the first person where I heard the sounds of sort of my place. I grew up listening to the Beatles, and I sing every hook, every little piece. I grew up on my parents' music and all this wonderful stuff. But when I started hearing the music from New Jersey, which Bruce is obviously an architect of, and then I got into a lot of local music I got into, but it was just like, oh, I know these landmarks and I know these feelings, and it makes you feel like there's a value there, a torch worth carrying. And that's a funny thing from where I'm from, because if you're from New York, that musical history is beaten over your head. If you're from London, LA, San Francisco, it's like, welcome to the party. You were born into this dynasty. New Jersey is a little bit like this perpetual younger brother, and his work has given a lot of us courage to carry that sound, and it's a pretty specific sound. A lot of darkness, a lot of hope, a lot of horns, a lot of joy, and I feel it so deeply. So to have him on there was pretty circular and emotional.
Do you find it to be a contradiction that I feel like New Jersey musicians are both deeply proud of being from New Jersey and write a lot of songs about how badly they want to get out of New Jersey?
It's the culture.
Yeah.
That's. I want to say that your entire crew, like, between the past 2 days, I think I talked about New Jersey with every single one of them. Like, Ocean County or Monmouth, there is oceans over there. We're talking about like run of the mill, like, how much more expensive can Long Beach Island get? Before nobody can go, or before it's the Hamptons. We said, sorry. Yeah, well, that's, you grow up and you have this. It's medieval, right? There's New York City. There's this body of water. You could call it a moat. Mm-hmm. New Jersey's right there. The whole of New Jersey hugs the city. You're looking at it. A lot of kids grow up in New Jersey and can see New York City from their bedroom, which is where their favorite band is probably playing that night. And not coming to New Jersey, it's where the food and the culture and all these things and the sex and everything is happening there. But there's a cynicism to that. And I didn't grow up like that. That's a lot of the New Jersey music I love has a lot of hope, and it might be about getting out, but it's about reaching for something, and it's just really ingrained in how I see the world.
I'm so happy, as always, to talk to you, and I'm so happy you're sticking around to do a song for us.
That's it?
That's it.
I had so many more things to ask you about.
Oh, really? You were going to ask me about stuff?
I just feel like last time we started on this tradition about talking about Judaism, and I wanted to get back to it.
Yeah. Well, I can only say...
No.
No. I think we're getting closer. Next time it'll be an even more interesting conversation because, now I've got these two kids who are,
they're Jews.
They're going to be Jews.
Yeah.
I mean, they are Jews, yeah.
And they think you're a Jew.
They do think I'm a Jew, and one day I'm going to have to sit them down and be like, got bad news about two things, Santa Claus and your dad.
Yeah. And here's what they're going to say. We didn't think you were a Jew because you're our dad. We thought you were a Jew because you look like a Jew.